What is going on, guys? Carson back here with another CGC unboxing slash CBCS finally unboxing based. Well, not really an unboxing. Already, as you can see, the CBCS stuff has already came out of the box. I just ended up looking at all the grades, exploring their website, because this is my first ever CBCS anything. This is the first time I've ever even handled CBCS slabs, basically. So mostly my graded experience has been with CGC. So just, I guess, to give a little bit of background on these books, I sent them back maybe around June, I think. Most of these were not sent for their pressing service. The stuff I've sent for the pressing is still labeled as received, whatever that means in the grand scheme of CBCS. So who knows if I'll see those until the year 2023 at this rate. I'm not sure. But one thing I can say is that in terms of speed and getting books back and forth, I feel like CBCS is probably no better than CGC. The slabs were cheaper to get, obviously, by almost like $8 to $10, if I remember correctly, without going and looking exact numbers. So they were much cheaper to get sent off and slab, and I'm sure they still are now. I haven't heard about any price increases on the CBCS side compared to CGC, but at the same time, we're not going to get too much more into the times. But nonetheless, I have about, I think, 18 slabs from CBCS, and then after I get done with those, I got an actual unboxing. You can tell this is going to go well already. Like, it's just, the box has just been smashed. So luckily I hear no rattling, but this is a CGC Bronze Age haul in here. There should be 4 books. Plus there's a 5th book. I completely forgot. I haven't shown on my channel yet or my Instagram. But I put it in the thumbnail, and it was a bit of a disappointment, I got to be honest. But we'll get into all of that. But first, I do want to say hi to Mars Comics. How you doing? Thank you for joining me in the chat tonight. So thank you for that. We'll just go ahead and get right into the books here. Oh, and then after the slabs, I do have some bonus toys to show for those of you who like toys. I have like an unboxing there to do to figure out what in the world this thing is. So we'll go out into that in a little while. But we'll go ahead and get into the CG or CBCS stuff here. Basically, I sent off a whole bunch of my Spider-Man covers, keys, and such that were like probably mid-copper age, that I was thinking about just getting rid of my whole Spider-Man collection around the time that No Way Home was coming out, but this stuff took so long to get in. No Way Home beat it in theaters by 4 months, basically, by the time I got these. So now I might hang on to these. I may just sell them around Christmas time when Into the Spider-Verse 2, whatever that movie's called, comes out, or I might hang on to some of them, just sell the ones I don't want. Just kind of continuing the cull and thin down the collection and really look at some of the runs that I like, but I'm not attached to, basically. So this is kind of my effort in maybe adding some incentive to those people who would end up buying some of my Spider-Man books. These would be kind of like the bigger books I would be selling, but I didn't get impressed. Maybe I should have, based on some of the grades you're about to see. There's only one grade that really upset me, and I'll save that one for last. So some of these, and we'll go over them one by one. I kind of expected a mid-grade, basically. So the first one is the ultimate example. I got Amazing Spider-Man 315. Came back a 7.5, which I'm not upset with at all. I knew it had a little crease on the back there. As you can see, the spine does not even present that well. It's just that weird, like, Copper Age Marvel printing quality where sometimes the back cover would show up on the front cover. That has nothing to do with spine roll or staple or anything. That's just the way the book was printed. But yeah, it was just, one of those big-time McFarlane covers with the return of Venom after his introduction. And I figured, why not go and get this slabbed? It was cheap enough, to get it in slab. So yeah, not disappointed with 7.5 at all on that one. Then we got just one of those classic Eric Larson covers, 9.4 on Amazing Spider-Man 346. It's a newsstand. You guys know I love those newsstands. So I had to get this set up because it was decent quality. Looking at it, I probably should have got this one pressed. There's a lot of non-color breaking spine ticks I can see right there. I don't know if this bad boy back here would have got those out or not. Unfortunately, I did make this purchase after I sent these books because obviously I would have ran them through here if I could travel back in time before I decided to make the investment into that. But here we are. Kind of the same thing probably with this, just to make sure, see if I could. I probably wouldn't have been able to do much with this book, to be honest. Maybe Spider-Man 363, one of the cartage parts there. Newsstand as well. Looking at it, does have one or two very light spine ticks on it, so I consider myself, based on what I'm seeing in the rest of my stack, a bit lucky they gave me a 9.6 on this, to be honest. I feel, and especially I'm just seeing like a smudge on the back there, I feel like this should have been probably closer to a 9.0 to 9.2 just looking at it, and you'll see. Next up, I was thinking about getting, this is a keeper for me, Flash 92 at a 9.6, first appearance of Impulse. I was halfway thinking about trying to send off the first appearances of all of, like, the Teen Titans I really like from 03 / the Young Justice characters. Like, I'll probably end up sending like a Adventure Superman 501, not the first appearance of Superboy, but like his first full issue of being Superboy, basically. I want to send a first Tim Drake Robin, and I want to send a first Cassie Sandsmark at some point to Wonder Girl, which I already have all those issues. I just need to find ones I like to send off. So this is probably like the most sought after of those characters, first appearance, for whatever reason. I think this has to do with print runs of the title basically at the time. But yeah, 9.6, thrilled with that one. Here's the highest grade book I got in the whole stack, and I was pretty happy with this one, obviously. This Marvel #1 at a 9.8. This was actually the copy I bought off the rack and read a couple times myself. So even though I read it, it still came back at 9.8, which is always a good feeling. So yeah, I really like this book. I'll probably be selling it. Probably going to stay in the collection. But yeah, got that one at a 9.8. That's the only 9.8 in the whole stack, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know if it's because of the whole pressing thing or not. I'll let you guys be the judge. And then some of the gold label stuff I got. So I wanted to get, the main reason I sent off to begin with is I did want to start taking care of some of my signed books, getting them slabbed when they announced the whole gold label program to get your signatures verified. I wanted to be all over that because, as you guys know, if you follow my channel long enough, I have over 1,000 signed comics, and a few of those really nice ones I wanted to get signed and gold labeled like this one. So the gold labels you see are the signature verification. They're not signature witnessed, just for the record. But I did collect all of these signatures. I believe I collected all these signatures myself. If I do see one I didn't, I'll definitely shout it out. But one of the hottest books on the planet right now, Something's Killing the Children #1. This is obviously the Ginny Frizen cover. Got the Ginny Frizen signature at C2E2. This might have been the last real con before COVID, I think. Was what, 20? Yeah, C2E2 2020 is where I got this Frizen signature. 9.6, so not too bad. Oh, I definitely see why that's a 9.6. Woo, that took a dinger right there. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad that didn't go a bit lower. But, yeah, that would do it right there. So 9.6, definitely happy with that, for especially seeing that ding on the bottom there. Mars Comics says, nice. He's liking the book so far. Thank you once again for joining. We got the Mastodon Comics and Music. What is going on, man? He says, live on a Friday threw me off. I know, I feel like it's been like a lifetime since I've been live on a Friday night. So, yeah, I have some time off of work tomorrow. I don't have to be up early. And like I said, I gotta get this thing unboxed. I want to see what's in it and if there's any damage. So I was like, I'm just gonna turn on the camera and go live. So going back to the gold label stuff, this is an easy keeper. This isn't going anywhere. This is 100% staying in the collection. Michael Turner Soulfire, one of my all-time favorite Michael Turner covers I've got a chance to purchase over the years. This was a Wizard World Chicago exclusive cover. It was at an Aspen booth. I think it was limited to like 1,000 copies, maybe 1,500. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was one of those Aspen exclusives. Down there, I attained the Mike Turner, Peter Steigerwald signature combo, of course, because those guys always signed at the Aspen booth. Back in the mid-2000s at the Wizard Cons, if there was an Aspen booth, you could pretty much guarantee Peter Steigerwald was going to be there. And if you're really lucky, you might get a chance to meet Mike Turner back in the day. But one of my all-time favorite artists, Mike Turner, for sure. So maybe my favorite cover, probably maybe number 2 behind his World War Hulk Aspen exclusive cover on that one as well. So just really like that Soulfire number 1. So very happy with that. Would have been cooler if it came back in 9.8, sure, but I do remember this is one of those books when I bought it at a con. I carried it in my backpack for probably 2 days straight trying to get it signed. So I'm not surprised at all with the 9.6 there. Probably the biggest book of the lot. These aren't in any order, as you can tell. I'm kind of just winging it here. But the biggest book of the lot, probably turning into like maybe the biggest book of the modern age. Maybe it's getting there if it's not already. At least top 5. Ultimate Fallout 4, first appearance of Miles Morales. Has probably one of the worst signatures in the world because Salvador Larroca, great artist, but why would you sign black marker on a black surface? I don't know, but luckily the fine folks of CBCS still saw the signature enough to give it that verification, and it came back in 9.6. So it's kind of one of those books I'm like, I'm probably going to like accidentally bend it or meat paw at some point with these giant paws. And I just wanted to get it in a slab to take care of it, basically. I like Miles. He's one of my favorite current characters in comics now. I love the video game, so this is definitely one that I'm hanging on to for sure. But yeah, probably easily one of the biggest slabs in my collection now for sure. One of my favorite Jim Lee covers. The only reason I sent it, I swear I had this signed by Jim Lee, but when I went to go get it on my collection, I'm like, oh, I just got the one signature on it. So still looks great. A nice gold label. Wish it would have came back just a bit higher in grade, but I only paid like, I think, $2 for this copy, so I don't care if it's an 8.5. Uncanny X-Men 268 at an 8.5. Pretty awesome. Chris Claremont as his typical placement along the X-Men logo there. Got this signed at a Wizard World way back in the like probably mid to late 2000s, probably 08 if I had to guess, because I think he appeared at 2 of them maybe in the mid 2000s. So yep, one of my all-time favorite Jim Lee covers there. Had to get that one graded. I do have to have a special shout out. We got 90 Miles from Comics. Drink it in, man. Nice to see Chad in the chat. Long time no see, man. He says, classic Jim Lee cover. How you doing? And after that, I do have to take a sip of water. Then another one for the collection, of course. I was a little surprised this one came back at 9.2. I do see some color breaking, color rubbing on the back. So yeah, I'm going to guess that's why. I mean, I probably should have tried to clean this myself or have it pressed and cleaned. But at the end of the day, I'm good with it. It's a 9.2. Why the Last Man number 1. Got this Brian K. Vaughan signature at Baltimore Comic-Con 2019. I do remember, Mastodon, you were at that con, so you were technically there when I got this signed, I suppose. But yeah, this commemorates the time I finally got to meet Brian K. Vaughan, one of my all-time favorite writers. So had to get this slabbed. It's probably my favorite book of the post-2000s. Sucks the show kind of tanked. It is what it is. Happens. But I still like the book. That didn't deteriorate. You know, what I thought of the read, it's still one of my favorites. So had to get this encapsulated. Even if it is a 9.2, still happy to get that signed with that nice gold label on top. Yeah, Chad says, killing with the signatures as usual. Love it. All right. So I have so many slabs, I had to put some on the floor because when I started, as you can see, it covered up my camera angle. So I'm going to have to hold this next stack in my lap here. This next one actually just got slabbed. It was just a really nice AOK from a Poor Man's Comics from a couple years ago, actually. He sent me this book, and then after a while, he asked for it back, and we just joked about it a couple times. But I decided to go ahead and just get it in slab for the heck of it. It's all new Marvel Now .1. It's like the first full appearance of Kamala Khan. I didn't realize this was also the first appearance of Don Greenwood from that awesome Dan Slott Silver Surfer run, which is really amazing. So I actually did not know this was technically Don Greenwood's first appearance. So go grab this book if you haven't already, because Don Greenwood's awesome. He's a great character, and then, of course, Miss Marvel is too. So 8.0, but it was a nice AOK. Figured I'd just go ahead and get slab to take care of it. Yeah, not too not too sad about that 8.0 on there. Just happy to have the book. Thanks again, Poor Man's Comics. Mastodon says, I remember you getting that. I didn't witness the signing, but saw it after. Yeah, I remember we were kind of just like, it was chaotic. There was a lot of lines and a lot of fun going on. I just remember bumping into Donnie at the, the Steranko. Well, he was in the Jim Steranko line, which I do have one Steranko cover. It's not signed, but there is one of my all-time favorite Steranko covers coming up at some point in all of this. I was actually surprised this next one came back a 7.0. So this was 7.0, Spider-Man 298, first McFarlane on the title. Technically, I still call it the first appearance of Venom because we read it on Modern Men. Venom is in this last page. I don't care what anyone says. It's just the whole Wolverine thing all over again, which, based on the thumbnail, more on that later too. But 7.0 in this book, I mean, I sent it in dirty. I don't even know why I sent this in the way I did. But for it to come back as 7, I'm kind of surprised it didn't come back a lot lower. So yeah, not too bad on that. Definitely not disappointed in 7. I figured this one would have been higher than that, but once again, I think I paid $8 for the book, so I can't be that mad. 6.5 on the Amazing Spider-Man 301. Once again, I didn't try to press it, I didn't try to clean it. So got what I paid for there. It's a newsstand. Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of imperfections on it. But like I said, this is kind of just one of those ones I might sell down the line. I'm not super attached to the Spider-Man stuff from the Copper Age. I'm more of like the Ultimate stuff, as weird as that is. I know I'm a weirdo like that. That's the Spider-Man when I started reading comics again. That's the one I got into. So I like the stuff with the Ultimate Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and that stuff. So some of the Copper Age is good. It reminds me of the cartoon I watched on Fox. But yeah, and then the classic artists, of course. Like this next one, 332, another great Eric Larson Venom cover. So that came back as 7.0. So let's just briefly compare the two 7.0s for a second. So just I question some of the consistency of CBCS, and I'm saving the book from the thumbnail from last so you can see where I'm getting at here. So dirty book where you can see like the grime on the bottom there, and I mean there's a couple imperfections on the back. Maybe that's why you see that Taito purple logo part there. There's definitely, so that probably hit pretty hard. So yeah, I'm slowly learning here. It's a learning experience. One other thing I will say before I keep going, I do like a couple things about the CBCS slab. I actually haven't really taken the time to talk about the CBCS slab because this is the first time I've really handled them, as I said at the top of the live stream here. Number one, I do like these bags a lot better than the garbage bags that CGC sends theirs in. It is night and day, in my opinion. I feel like I could actually fold this down and not be embarrassed to store it in this bag like those CGC ones. So they did give some nice effort just to the storage bag for the book. So that may seem like a minuscule thing to a lot of people, but I like that. It protects it from future moisture a little bit better and that stuff, and it prohibits me from having to buy more bags because the CGC ones, I'm not happy with those whatsoever. And then there's a QR code on the back that you can scan, and it'll take you right to your grader's notes. I think that's awesome. So if you sell it or what have you, I believe, who you sell it to can just go check the grader's notes using the QR code. So that is an excellent idea that I think I'm surprised CGC hasn't stolen it unless there's something I didn't know. Mastodon says he A-okayed that one, but not the memory. Which one are you talking about, dude? I'm trying to think now. Definitely let me know. I remember, yeah, we did trade a A-OK or two. Maybe you did. Sorry, my brain. If you did A-OK me that book, Don, thank you very much. Hopefully I didn't, discredit your A-OK, man. Donnie did A-OK me some books now that I thought of it at Baltimore. So thank you, Don, once again. 8.5 on the Spider-Man 333. So once again, not too bad on that one. Just getting those Venom ones CGC'd. So I was still kind of counting on that Venom movie to be out and have these books, but that didn't happen. Just like this next one. Sent in the 330 or 344. It was a newsstand copy, really nice at a 9.4. First appearance of Cletus Cassidy. First full cardiac. So pretty happy with that grade. I may end up just hanging on to this. I'm not sure. Like I said, at this point, I got to reevaluate what I'm going to do with some of the stuff I bought. Because at the end of the day, I did send some of this stuff off to pay for the rest of the grading of the books like this, basically. So it's not cheap to grade these things, obviously. So I would like the hobby to kind of support itself. We got a 9.2 on Amazing Spider-Man 347. So for a newsstand copy, I'm happy with the 9.2 on there. And then I believe this stack here, oh, I got 2 left. 9.4 on 362. I think this is, second appearance of Carnage at a 9.4. It's not too bad at all there. And then this is just like, I don't even know why I sent this. It's not the biggest money book in the world, but it's still a fun book to have in the collection. Amazing Spider-Man Annual 21, The Marriage of Mary Jane and Peter Parker, of course. So I thought it was a nice copy to send in. They did give it an off-white to white pages for a newsstand. So, and then Chad liked that previous cover. I don't know if he was talking about this one or the one before, probably the Eric Larson. This is one of my favorite covers right here for sure that Eric Larson's ever done. Oh, Mastodon's talking about the Steranko book. Yeah, that's right. All right, so the last one from CBCS. Oh boy, I'll let you, maybe the chat will give me some insight on how I should proceed with this. So I got this, and I'll save the fun shock value. So you know how when you guys see these unboxings on YouTube, they're always like covering up the thing and like, oh my god, I hope it's like a 9.6, and then they uncover it's a 9.8. I think my new gimmick is I'm just going to do the opposite of that. I think I'm going to call this like an 8.0 and reveal it, and it's going to be much lower because that's kind of how I'm feeling today. So this book right here, Amazing Spider-Man 250, you might have seen this a couple trillion times in your comic collecting. First appearance of the black suit, along with, a bunch of the other ones about. Amazing Fantasy 15 Swipe. A good book to have right now. So the defects on this, from here all the way down to here, there is a hairline color break bend, basically. A hairline, and you can barely even see it. Okay, now you can see it there a little bit by the guy's legs there. So as you can tell, it's a hairline. Maybe a little bit of foxing on the back. And then there's like maybe a defect there. We'll do a nice spine slide so you can get a good reference as to why I'm not happy about this. Now, if you guys see a defect, or like I said, if somebody does have some knowledgeable insight on why I got the score I got, I would love to hear it, because this is the one I don't agree with at all. 5.0. So foxing on the back, okay, but a couple spots, sure, if you look real close, I could probably get those out with an eraser. The hairline thing, and then their other, using the QR code and scanning it and looking at Graves' notes, they said there was some sort of spine defect or something. I just don't see that. And it breaks color, whatever they saw. The only thing I saw that breaks color was that corner and a little bit off the very top corner there. So I'm trying to figure out what in the world would cause this to be a 5.0, because this book is now worth more cracked out of this slab than if I had it sold it slabbed. I probably would have been better off just keeping it on my wall downstairs in my main room where I just pulled it from to send off. So I'm not really sure why this would be coming back a 5.0. So I'm kind of learning, I guess, if there's any major color break that goes along the whole cover, no matter how tiny and minuscule it is, that'll just deduct points like nobody's business, because the next book, we're segueing into the CGC stuff here, and they just don't like my books, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. I think this looks pretty good. Like, I would say max or minimum of a 7.0. And yeah, I don't know. So yeah, don't know what to tell you there. So, and I know you're not looking at it close like I am, and camera and stuff. But yeah, definitely if you guys got any insight on that, I would appreciate, some advice on how to proceed. If I should just crack that, maybe send it to CGC, at least run it in this press and see what happens. At least I didn't pay I think I only paid like $40 for the book a few years ago. So even if I did want to sell it, I'm not going to be out money. I'm not going to lose anything. So it was a good discount copy. Let's see what Chad's saying. He says, looks like at least 6 without the clean and press. But then again, I've been out of the game so I could be blind now. And Mars says it looks a lot better than his. So yeah, I just don't know what to make of that book. So everything else seemed like it was fairly consistent, minus 1 or 2 hiccups here and there, but nothing I was like shocked over, basically. So I really don't know how they deducted a 5.0. So going into CGC, and then, yeah, Chad says just crack it for sure. Yeah, I think I might use that as a cracking experiment. So we're segueing in to CGC. So we're going to start with the other book from my thumbnail that you guys came for a visit for. Now, we got Incredible Hulk 181. So this is one, they sent it on its own. So I just unboxed it that day, and my jaw was just dropped a little bit. But at least on this one, I do see why they scored it the way they did. And it's once again, it's a learning experience for me. And I'm not mad at the score at all because I got such a good deal on this book that it's staying in the collection, obviously, because Wolverine's like everybody's favorite character, including mine, of course, one of my favorites. It was just purely for preservation and care purposes and not resale purposes to get it in this fun slab. But 3.0 is what this came back. So what I have learned is things can look really nice on the front, and it does have defects. I can zoom in a little bit. You see the spine is nowhere near perfect. There's a lot going on there with spine ticks. There's, once again, that dreaded hairline tick that goes all the way down a book is on this one as well, kind of down that direction there. But what I have learned is I need to pay better attention to the back of my books before sending them. Not that this would have changed anything. It's just, it would have changed my grading before sending it in my head, basically. Because I think I had this thing at like a 6 or something like that. The back is nasty, guys. So you can already see a stain there without even zooming in. Yeah, that's going to knock it down easy, no problem. So, yeah, it speaks for itself. So that back cover alone was going to get me a low grade all day. But nonetheless, just having 181 in the collection and not breaking the bank is enough for me. It's going on my case downstairs. It's not going anywhere unless I somehow get lucky twice and lightning strikes. Yeah, this one's staying in the collection. Once again, it's coming out of this awful bag, though. This, like I said, these bags are terrible. 90 likes that 181. We got Who Dat? Comics and Movies. How's it going, Who Dat? He says, hello, always press and clean. Yeah, we kind of got the message with the CBCS haul. Definitely good advice there. Working on those techniques myself. I'm already buying all the gimmicks, trying to figure out how I can save a few bucks where I can. And yeah, there we go. So we're working on the pressing and cleaning, practice and that stuff. 90 says you may be able to clean that 181. Great book, great come up. Yeah, that one actually, I sit through the CGC pressing service for whatever that's worth too. I feel like that stuff does give you a little bit of a bump, but we're going to find all that out here shortly. We got Man Cave Comics. What's going on, man? He says, congrats on the 181. Thank you so much. Oh, Who Dat is also about to do a CBCS unboxing. So once I get this done, hop on over to his channel and check out what he's got going on. But just to give you guys just joining us preface of what we're about to see, this is going to be a 4-book unboxing of my CGC Bronze Agers coming out. So that's fragile box here. I know. Shout out to Comic Man Andy. He always uses that Jim Carrey kicking the crap out, like this, like from Ace Ventura, I think, maybe, of just, someone's getting mail and he's just kicking the crap out of the box. It says fragile on it. I feel like that's what the box I got today in the mail. So, yeah, let's see what to expect here. While we're unboxing that, I see Gore Vidal has joined the chat. What is going on, Gore? He says, good news about Hulk 181. That is, if you decide to sell it one day, buyers will pay absurd prices for it. You're in a good place either way. That's exactly the way I'm looking at it, man. So I always kind of just, and I had this conversation with, a family member or two, because my brother, I don't really get a chance to talk about him too much, but he does collect like I do a lot, and he's starting to preserve a lot of his collection. And it's just kind of one of those things, like if you ever do have somebody else that has to come in and like take care of your collection for you, or you're unable to do it for whatever reason, at least this will make things easier to manage for some of the bigger keys. It's kind of the way I look at it, at least. And I think, it's kind of the same way with him. So, yeah. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in there. All right. Oh, my God. One layer of bubble wrap on top of it. This is going to be really interesting. Always got to save these. You never know when they're going to come in handy. I already see. Okay, cool. We got a nice score up top. We'll just spoil that one for myself. I was going to try to do let's see if I can get the side right. I'm probably not going to get the side right. Of course I didn't get the side right. Swamp Thing, number 7. 9.2. So this is what I just like the book, and it was in really nice condition for a book from 1973. So I figured I'd get at least a 9 on it, and I decided to go ahead and send it in, and that's what I got, a 9.2. So once again, need to get some of those Mylar bags for my slabs on the CGC side at least. But I debated sending in a lot of my Lynn Wein, Bernie Wrights, and Swamp Things because I at least read through them. I'm thinking Alan Moore. I should have read this first. Dang it. But I'll just read it online. It's cool. But this is one of those ones. I really like the Bernie Wrights and stuff from Swamp Thing. I figured like this one looks so nice, I should get a slab. So I did 9.2 on that. Oh, let's see. Can I do it? Oh, here we go. Remember we were talking Steranko earlier? So this is the Steranko cover. Oh, cool. The score's on the back now, too. 4.0. Let's not spoil it for myself. That doesn't surprise me. I got to be honest. Getting a 4.0 on this. Probably my favorite cover of all the Silver Age X-Men by far is this Steranko cover. It was also the first one with the modern logo, obviously. Just always really like that cover. It doesn't surprise me because, if foxing is a thing, this thing has all of the foxes. So, I got a 4.0 on that. Still like it. Still holds my theory, though, that CGC does not like X-Men because every X-Men book I've sent and got back has been lower than my expectations. But at least here, I think, I don't remember if I had like 6 to 7 on this originally. Maybe even I don't think I went as low as a 5, but I knew it would probably be around that mid-grade range. I would have liked to see it a bit higher, but really like this cover for sure. There's no question there. Let's see what the chat's saying. We will reveal the other two. We got J Hood Creative. What's going on, man? Now, if you guys are ever bored on a Saturday morning, check out J Hood's channel. It's my favorite thing to do. If I have work later or anything, and I just need to have a cup of coffee, my breakfast, J Hood's show is perfect for that. So one of my favorite shows in the community is J Hood Creative's Saturday show. So definitely check that out if he's live tomorrow. 90 says he's good. He's big terror of little 90 and misses. You're number 2. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. So definitely sounds like Chad is a busy father. So congrats to Chad, 90 miles from comics. Glad to hear he's doing well. Next one looks like we got really only a 4.5. Hide this one much higher. So Showcase number 80, Phantom Stranger. I'll definitely have to look up a few graders notes there, but I think it kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, is I need to pay more attention to the back of the book because there's some light staining there. So not too bad for Silver Age, I guess. Really like this book, though. I think I read this one on my October Reads a couple years ago. Really good book. And then the last one, wow, that's actually... So I just gave up on trying to do the grade hiding. I actually am pretty happy with this one, though. 8.5 on the Doctor Strange number 1. So really thrilled with this one, actually. Frank Bruner, Steve Englehart run on Doctor Strange. I actually got this book about 3 or 4 years ago. I think right before I started doing videos on my. Actually, this might have been one of the books that spurred me to do videos right after, this guy in the chat, Hoodat, told me to do a video. I think this is like either like the second or third haul video I did, featured this book here. So yeah, very happy with the 8.5 on this Doctor Strange #1, especially, 1974. So I found out today that I found a character that CGC likes. So maybe I'll send them some more of my Doctor Strange. So very happy with the 8.5. I would have liked to see higher grades on my X-Men, my Phantom Stranger. But yeah, not disappointed at all in the Swamp Thing. So anytime I can send, a really early Bronze Age or, maybe even a Silver Age and get a good grade on it, that's definitely awesome to me. So happy with this one especially. So Bernie Wright, some goodness there. And then, I just really like these two books, but I'm debating if I would have just liked them happier on my wall and pull them down so I can still read them. So I would have liked to like get a Steranko signature on this and somehow get it green labeled to match the book. That's just me being kind of weird, I guess, on that one. So there is all of the CGC and CBCS stuff. So hopefully, I think I've got only 9 books left with CGC, which I do need to do a new send-off because my membership renewed. So I got the $150 credit back I need to spend anyway. So there's that. And then CBCS, they still got a lot of my books hostage right now. A lot of my books with no signs of being done. So hopefully getting this big lot back is the start of them being productive, but I'm not going to hold my breath. So yeah, we'll see where we go from there with CBCS. I don't think I'm going to renew with them just because the inconsistencies and that stuff, and that Spider-Man 252 at a 5.0, that didn't encourage me at all to send them any more books. So I may crack that one, see what this guy can do to it, and then send it to CGC. If they give me a 5.0 or less, that is what it is. All right, let's read the chat, and then we're going to do like a little bonus feature here, and do some toys, because I have toys that are just laying around my house for some reason. So let's see what we got. I think I missed a few comments. We got Nice says, appreciate that. Soon we'll be back in the game. Kids after the no Moss kids after this one. Yeah, just happy to see you're doing well, man. Congrats once again. Mastodon says, love you pulling out books on my hot list. LOL. Yeah, I don't think I had a second Doctor Strange #1 at one point. I think I sold or gave away that one already, unfortunately. So, but Donnie, if I knew you were looking for that one too, I would have kept it for you. Man Cave says that one of the best Bernie Wrights and Swamp Thing covers for sure. Definitely, yeah. That's why I was like, should I just send them all? Because most of them I have in pretty good condition, like at least like issue 5 and up. Like that second half I have in probably like 8s and up. But like I said, I got to open up and look at that back cover. Mastodon likes the Phantom Stranger. Yeah, if there was somebody in this community who would probably like Phantom Stranger as much, if not more than me, it would probably be you if you explore a little bit more, because I know you like the weird war tales and that stuff. And a lot of that Phantom Stranger has similar art and is from that similar era, obviously. So I think, Don, you would really appreciate the Phantom Stranger stuff. I've actually started to, I've collected a decent amount of that run up until like issue 30. Once the showcase came out, then they started the ongoing. And there's a lot of great art in that stuff and a lot of good stories too. If you like the 70s horror DC boom stuff, like the weird war tales or even the House of Secrets, that type of stuff, you'd probably definitely like Phantom Stranger for sure. Hoodat says CGC is holding his books hostage. Told him it would be 4 to 5 weeks to ship 3 orders. Yeah, this one I showed today because I think I was actually I could have messaged you to get your feedback on this lot here. It was in that grading and encapsulation phase for probably a month or more before it hit like the quality control, whatever that means. And then like once it quality control, like took 1 day to ship them out. So I don't know why they would have something in the grading phase for that long and not do anything with it. So I just remember, I think I heard you on a live stream at one point say you had a very similar issue. Jizz says I need to refresh my coffers and get some stuff graded for sale. I need to keep hearing horror stories about CGC finger bang. Yeah, it's very inconsistent. Like for instance, I got that DC Comics Presents 26 and a 9.6. And even the guy, the shop owner I bought that from, he's like, I never would have dreamed that was a 9.6. And I sent other books that I was like, oh, maybe they'll get an 8 or a 9, then they get like a 6 or a 7. So the consistency just all around just doesn't seem to be there. And like I said, I don't pretend to be a grading expert, as you can tell. But I do notice the lack of consistency, if you will. Who dat says, can't use CGC until I figure it out. CBCS took 4 weeks on my order. I received it today. 4 weeks was it? Wow. What? Did you slip him a $20 bill in the box or something? I'm going on like 9 months? Like, dang, 4 weeks. Wow, I need to tell him I've heard of Who Dat Comics and Movies. Maybe I'll get my stuff back tomorrow. Dang. I said, at least I feel like at least with CGC, I can send the magazine size stuff like the Turtles, The Last Ronins. I have had no problems sending that stuff out and getting it back in a timely manner. Because there's a few of those. I'm just kind of massing a big pile of magazine stuff I want to send again, because I don't want to just send like 2 or 3. I want to send like a bigger lot so I get them shipped back together, obviously. But at least in my experience with the Turtle stuff especially, I've had decent luck getting that stuff back and of consistent quality grading, I should say. He says also CGC a month behind opening books, 5 weeks to mail finished order. Yeah, that I have noticed for most of my orders in the last year. If I send something off, you almost got to wait 1 to 2 months before you see it's actually received, which is a very scary thing. Not to mention the fact that books are just sitting in a priority box or however you sent them. Just the fact that there's no track record for your books besides just someone scanning that it was received once. So who knows where they even store that? Yeah, definitely. And he says, orders have been in quality control for 3 or 4 weeks. Oh my God. See, it's so weird right now. Yeah. So hopefully we all get our books back soon. I think hopefully they'll just get some more people hired, get this whole situation figured out. Because right now everyone's trying to do more buying and selling than ever before. So I get it. But I don't know what they need to do because it's not my business, I guess. I just send them books and hope they come back. All right, so let's have some fun with some toys. I'll save this one for last because I know at least 90's in the chat. He's a big Turtle fan. We'll at least type that one up here a bit. And of course, Who Dat, he loves him some Turtles. But I do have 3 other toys I got here in the stack. I got this cool Iceman X-Men or Marvel Legends. This one I bought from my friend Chad from the Comic Corps. He said he was looking for it. My Walmart had one left. So Chad, I still need to mail this out to you. So luckily I have plenty of packing material now to do so. So this will be going to Chad from the Comic Corps. So hopefully he likes it. I think he's already excited for that. Got a couple wrestling figures. So I did roll across this at a Target. The guy didn't even have it off of his cart yet. And I was like, I need that Sting. So this is like their first, I guess it's a Luminaries collection action figure. And this is probably like the best. The AEW figures are really high quality. They're really good. This might be the best I've seen so far. So it's got the awesome jacket. Of course, interchangeable fists. The C-grip hand so you can hold the bat in whichever hand you want. But yeah, really cool. I kind of hope down the line maybe I don't know how many if they have the rights to all of the Sting likenesses. It'd be cool to see like early 90s Surfer Sting, maybe get like the 97 Sting if possible and that stuff too. Maybe the TNA Joker Sting just for fun. But for right now, at least we get modern day old man, Charles Bronson-esque Sting, I guess, who's just too old for things, but still does it anyway. But very, very happy with this figure. I think it's their best one so far. And then I didn't realize I came across a Chase figure. I would have bought this regardless. This is the Jake the Snake Roberts Legends Elite figure. The actual regular one it probably has better tights. It has the blue, red, and yellow. I think it's the one where he was in the Royal Rumble 92 with those tights when he was feuding with Macho Man. I think this was somewhere around I want to say this is probably where Macho got his arm bit by the snake, I think, when he's wearing the gray tights. But yeah, the gray tights is the chase, I guess. I didn't even realize that. I was like, cool, Jake figure. I don't have one in the collection. So I think this was Target exclusive, and this was the chase version of it. So very happy with that. And then, yeah, we'll get into the story on this thing, but I want to read a little bit of the chat. 90 says, all I know is see what who that 90 there were turtles before they were super hot. Just, yeah, you're not wrong. Turtle Tuesdays, man, or whatever goofy name I tried to come up with the other time. You're just like, dude, just take Turtle Tuesday. And he says, the other night with Jeff coming to AEW, so good. AEW's killing it. Yeah, AEW. I actually watched the pay-per-view the other day, and it was a blast. I feel like for the first time in a long time, I actually can purchase a pay-per-view, and I feel like it's worth my time and money. Like, they somehow put on pay-per-views are like, this is one of the best pay-per-views I've seen. And then like 2 or 3 months later, they will do a better pay-per-view somehow. It's crazy. They just keep working on, improving the storylines, quality of rendering matches, the shock value that we haven't seen since probably the Attitude Era in the late 90s with Nitro and, WWF going to war. But we're going to finish by talking Turtles, a little toy bonus feature here. But this was on the Big Bad Toy Store, and I have a collection I bought like this before. Basically, it's some Playmates remolds and repaints. Basically, I bought one. I think it was a Walmart exclusive. It came with the black and white version of Turtles, except they were like the Playmates Turtles, but they're black and white. Pretty cool set. And they decided to make one for the villain. So I'm not too huge into buying, retro figures in terms of like, let's redo this figure and that stuff, like unless it's like a facsimile, basically, like they're doing in comics with the facsimiles they do every week. They're pretty much doing the same thing in toys now. Like I went to Walmart today, and you can actually, I bought previously, I don't even know why I didn't bring it up here because I haven't shown it on here yet, but you can buy a Michelangelo that looks exactly like the one from the 80s packaging and all, except that has like a Nickelodeon logo and a couple other, as the date on it of 2022 or 2021, whenever they made it. But I just bought one just to have it for, the sake of having it because it's my favorite character. I don't really have any Turtles in its original packaging, so I figured, like, why not get one? I do like getting the vehicles, though, because most of my vehicles I have now, I played with as a kid. They're wrecked, they're broken, they're missing stickers, they're missing parts. Whereas the Turtles, hey, they're all back there. They're still the Turtles. Sure, they're missing belts and such, but I feel like there's a difference between, collecting the figure and then trying to maintain a vehicle or play set, because a lot of little parts get missing on play sets and vehicles. So hopefully buying stuff like this will encourage them to make a new Technodrome or something. I already got that turtle van that I'm excited to put together. But my Technodrome back there, I love it, but it looks shot. So I wouldn't mind like a minty fresh Technodrome for my display, basically. So hopefully buying stuff like this will trigger stuff like that. And I wanted to get this villains pack because there are just a few villains that had I have most of them like in the shop behind me back there, but there's just a few like Baxter Stockman's in here. He had those wings that just, you put them on, they immediately fall off when you're a kid. Then they go missing. The Shredder, he had that little purple cloak. That thing, soft goods thing, gone. So I at least wanted to get this box set so I can start to, maybe think about popping these open and, just kind of putting a nice coat of paint on maybe some of my older figures with some new stuff. But at the same time, do I want to mix that stuff together? Because then I'm mixing like, new stuff with old, and it gets hard to tell the difference. And I don't know. We're just going to talk about the figures because now I'm just rambling. All right, we got Slash. So here's the first figure. I was surprised to see like in a box this big, you get 6 figures in a box. So shout out to whoever came up with this packing idea, because it could have been easy to figure out how to get figures like this on card, not crammed into a box like this and damaged. So yeah, looks cool. Now, as you can tell, if you're a classic Turtles collector, this doesn't look like the original box. It's close, but obviously it's smaller, it's flatter, it's a little wider. The text is different. So there are enough differences to distinguish this from the originals really easily. But if you do look at the figures, they do look pretty close to the original. I kind of wish I would have grabbed my Slash from the camera shot so we could kind of compare. It does look slightly different than the original, just, random look here, but it looks just enough like the originals. I think it's really cool. So, and I mean, not to mention the fact you get all the accessories too. So this is the type of stuff that is hard to replace right here. Not to mention like all the extra stuff that's like on Slash. Like you better believe my version Slash back there, he might have one of those claws if I'm lucky, but that little like shoulder gimmick, that thing's gone. I can tell you that. So that was Slash. Got Rocksteady. So my Rocksteady I think it's one of the, this one is not a soft head, I can tell you that, but just by looking at it. The one I have back there, I believe is, and it barely stands on its own. So this is kind of one of those ones I just want popping open just for my display with the stuff back there, because this is much more sharp looking. Definitely got a nice shiny coat of paint on there. It's got that cool belt with the turtle shells on it, and of course the accessories. And he's got like that like really long gun that I lost as a kid probably. So always like Rocksteady. But yeah, that's one of those, like, especially that early Bebop. But like if you have like the first Bebop and Rocksteady release, they got pretty flimsy over time. We got JP's Budget Collecting. What's going on, man? How you doing tonight? Thank you again, by the way, for inviting me to Comic Gories on Monday. If you guys didn't get a chance to catch that, it's over on, I believe it was on John's channel, John's Comics with Kids. So we had a fun time over on Comic Gories. So check that out if you haven't had to or haven't had a chance to already. 90 says, I can see if you open it would be really hard to tell that these look great. Yeah, like if you put them side by side, you would definitely have to look up. I mean, they did a pretty good job, I think, so far. Now, this one does look a little bit weird to me, though. I spoke too soon. So here's Bebop, I'm sorry. But what did they do to Bebop's face there? It looks like he like got the Homer Simpson makeup gun treatment. I don't know if you guys ever watched the episode of The Simpsons where he just invents a gun so he can shoot Marge with a makeup, so she doesn't have to apply makeup. She just shoots makeup into her face and she's done. Yeah, Bebop got shot with a makeup gun because he's got pink face. Like, look at that paint job. So, I don't know what happened to Bebop, but yeah, he's oof. At least it comes with the accessories. So I do have Bebop accessories. So if I do decide to open this, at least there's that. Let's see what we got. We got 3 more in here. All right, so here's one I was kind of excited to get because I think the only one I have of this is he's missing like a leg or an arm or both. And that's got to be the foot soldier. Like, who as a kid didn't have a foot soldier that didn't fall apart, unless you were one of those who took really good care of your toys and you didn't even think about like army building as a kid. Like some collectors and photo photographers now that do toys, they will, build the armies. They'll buy a bunch of foot soldiers so I can take the picture of like 4 or 5 foot soldiers fighting the 4 turtles or whatever. I just had the one because I wanted to get the next new toy, of course. And the one I had was always getting beat up by a turtle, or Michelangelo was hitting him with a nunchuck or whatever. So you better believe the 1 foot soldier I had was falling in pieces. So definitely happy to have this one because I do not have a foot soldier. I think I have the shiny anniversary variant back there just because like by the time that one came out, they were a lot better quality figure. They didn't fall apart as easily. But the original foot soldiers, oh my God, they fell to pieces, no problem, in my opinion. We got 2 more in here. Let's see what we got next. Okay, here is Baxter Stockman. So, not too bad. Sorry, now I got to show it to the camera. I was trying to figure out if this matches the original, and I think for the most part it does. At least it comes with, those hands he had in the wings, because that's the stuff that either you lost really easy or just got broken real easy. So, yeah, I at least am happy to have this one just for the accessories. And then the last one, I don't even know why I mentioned Shredder, because I think he was in the different set with Splinter. He was in Wave 1. I think this is technically Wave 2. But this one was very exciting to me, even though he looks sitting a little crooked in there. And the Krang looks different. But I already got a couple extra Krangs. I thought there was one up here at some point, but he's moved somehow in this room, and that's Krang, yeah, in the little walker suit. Now, the walker suit I have, I think it's sitting back there technically, but over time, these like plastic parts, they get really foggy, and they just start to yellow a little bit, so Yeah, and I always like this gun right here because it fit like the cup of the turtle's head perfectly. So anytime like Shredder or Foot Soldier or Krang would attack the turtles, like that was always like my go-to weapon to beat the turtles because it's the exact shape of the top of their heads. So yeah, that's at least when I played as a kid, that's how I looked at it. But yeah, one of my all-time favorite figures, actually really twice, is the Krang Android suit and this version of Krang with the Walker suit. So really liked Krang as a kid. So happy to have another copy of that. And that's the box. So 6 or 5 pretty cool figures. And then whatever in the world happened to poor Bebop there. I mean, now I kind of just want to, I don't know. Yeah, I do have. Give me a second. Now I got to pull Bebop out of the collection here. Without trying to tip over everybody else. All right. So let's see if I'm just crazy or is this just a weird looking figure. So, all right. So here is the old classic. Let's see what year we got on him. So this is Bebop. He's 1988. And as you can see, in my opinion, got a little bit of tan there. Looks pretty normal though. And then, holy crap, what happened to this Bebop? So a little bit of a paint fiasco there, but I guess if you're going to side by side them just to compare the mold, yeah, the mold's pretty spot on at least. So there's that. So pretty happy with this pack. I might have to look into a few more, but do I really need this many turtle toys? So a lot of fun. So love some toys, love some slabs. For those of you just joining us, we'll do the sad slabs at least one more time. So there we go. People like to reveal them high grades. I just stay in the low grade territory here on my channel. So there's that. I do want to say hi. I talked about Comigories earlier, and here he comes. John's Comics with Kids. How's it going, man? Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you once again for having me on Comigories. Let me read the rest of the comments here because I kind of got too into Bebop's paint job here. I'm going to play with my original Bebop after this. All right, so let's scroll up just a bit. I think Mastodon had a comment here. He says, got one of those Raphaels for my wife for Christmas. Put it in with that issue 7. I got a few. Nice, man. That's awesome. Like the Raphael, first print, second print, reprint, whatever. Phenomenal book to have. Like it's a great read. Great book to have. Anytime I can try to get another copy, I go for it on eBay all the time. So, and I'm very happy with my slab copy. I wouldn't mind having a reader on the side, but even though I do have the Ultimate Collection hardcover up there. 90 says those look really close to the originals. He loves it. Mastodon says looks darker if I remember right. Yeah, they definitely they vary with the paint jobs, but the molds obviously are the same. I can see it if you open it really hard, tell how great it looks. All right, we're scrolling down. Drink it in, man. Yeah, 90 says this Foot Soldier got beat up as well. Pretty sure my mom threw it out with the missing arms. LOL. Remember saving up for the Android suit. I wanted it with the passion and got it. Nice. Like I said, when I got a chance to talk to Kevin Eastman, the one thing I did ask him, like, what is your favorite turtle figure? And he agreed it was the Krang Android suit figure. I like the big one. I even got the small one that's about this size down the line too. I said usually Krang is like one of my top favorite toys to collect. I guess toyetic, if you will. John, we need to. Oh yeah, definitely need to see that combination come back together. But guys, I got a lot of cleaning up to do. I got slabs everywhere. I for once had this cleaned up. Nothing over here. Now there's slabs everywhere. There's cardboard, bubble wrap, plastic tape, all that stuff. But big thank you guys for joining this random live stream on a Friday night. I will have a February comic haul coming up. If not this weekend, I'm going to try to do a live stream on Monday, so catch that because I knew this whole stream it went an hour, of course, and I never showed what I actually picked up in February. So I knew if I started the show books, I was going to be here for 2+ hours, and who has that time? So I'm going to try to do another live stream. If not this weekend, catch me Monday at some point. And big thank you guys once again for joining me. Have a good weekend.